Hi, I'm Katie Guile with US Assure. With me today is a very special guest, US Assure's Senior Vice President, Head of Underwriting, Rachele Holden. Rachele, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for asking me to come.
Absolutely. You know, we hear a lot from agents who feel overwhelmed by all the coverage options we offer, and sometimes that means they end up overlooking coverages that could really save the day for their clients. So today, let's put your expertise to work as we discuss 6 of those coverages and consider scenarios where they can help protect clients' interests. First up, we have unsold dwellings. So, Rachele, what does this coverage do? Am I correct in saying it's an unusual coverage?
It is. Most of the carriers will offer 2 years of coverage. With those 2 years of coverage, they're not willing to extend a policy past that. Well, Zurich's program allows a 3rd year. And the 3rd year could be for a home that was up for sale and it hasn't sold within the 2 years and it's been constructed. And they need a 3rd year coverage. Or it could be a home that hasn't even finished and they need another year to finish the construction. This policy allows you to have the 3rd year of coverage. It's a higher rate and it is a different coverage form, so you don't get as much coverages as you did on our new construction policies coverage form. However, it gives them the opportunity to keep the progress of the construction going without having to worry about placing coverage somewhere else.
Absolutely. Are there maybe any other features or benefits you would add about this one?
The biggest feature I would say is our new construction policies are fully earned. However, this unsold dwelling 3rd year policy, as we call it, is also available to allow pro rata cancellation, subject to the minimum premium. That's unusual. So the insureds, even though they might be paying a higher rate for this policy, they're going to have a chance to get a return premium back.
It's a nice bonus.
It is.
Okay, let's talk about ordinance or law. So how would you describe this coverage? What is it for?
The ordinance or law, the easiest way to explain it is look at your city and your county building codes. Building codes are required to take in any development of a construction. They get inspected, all building codes are checked to make sure they were followed. What happens is if you have a loss happens, and for some reason there was a building code that was not taken in effect yet when you first started this project, and now all of a sudden it does take effect, and the damage that was sustained on the building impacts that building code. Well, that's going to be a higher cost now, because now they have to probably do more tear down and everything else to be able to meet the building codes, and they didn't expect that extra expense. This ordinance or law will allow that. And in addition, Zurich has enhanced the program. And with that enhancement, we now are offering it for renovations only, no existing structure. But if our remodeling projects are issued with renovations only, you're also going to get that protection automatically in your policy for the renovations coverage.
Sure, and I can only imagine how much this kind of coverage, especially automatically included in a state like Florida where we're located, with all these hurricanes and storms that we see.
Oh yes, and you can imagine all the hurricanes that we've had in the histories. You know, the histories then are sooner or later going to deem building codes being changed. You know, Florida was changed with their building codes because after Andrew. And sooner or later, all the other states are going to start looking at their building codes, and they might start getting stringent. You know, this is not normally a coverage that you will see on new construction occur. However, with all the past hurricane histories, I'm seeing some codes are going to start coming into the next few years.
So having that ordinance or law coverage definitely will make a difference for your bottom line there.
It will.
Absolutely. Okay, and speaking of changes, 3rd on our list is the change order endorsement. So what is so special about this coverage?
I love this endorsement. This endorsement, matter of fact, was created from an agent. An agent brought the idea to us, and it made sense. This change order gives the insured added protection to their amount of insurance. I mean, let's think about it. So the agent deals with the insured. We don't know how long it took to get hold of that contractor. They're busy all the time, but you finally get them in your office, or you finally get them on that phone. You get the policy issued. Now all of a sudden, a home is being constructed that you've insured. And with that becomes change orders. It's almost always, and it's usually more than one. I'm telling you, I'm building a house right now and I've already done 2 change orders. But it could be the countertops, the cabinets, whatever. Now what they're picking out is more expensive, which yes, I picked out more expensive tile. It cost me more, so what happened to my value? It went up. So let's think about it. Do you think the first thought on that contractor's mind is gonna be, oh, I need to call my agent. The value's changed. We've changed the contract and increased it. No, that's far from their mind. You had a hard time getting them in the office the first time. So the best thing to do is give them a cushion. So we offer 10, 20, or 30% extra of the value that it was established on the policy originally. They have a cushion. The only thing is you've got to remind your contractors, that cushion runs out. If they start using it up, they have no more cushion. They need to still endorse the policies and then always have that protection in place until the construction is completed.
I love that that came from an agent. It's very cool. Next up, completely different topic. We have testing of building systems. Now, we don't talk about this one very often. So what does this endorsement do?
It covers if something happens during the testing of the actual equipment that are part of the building systems. Your heating, your HVAC. So they go in to test it and it sparks, and damage. It causes some kind of damage or the unit goes out. A lot of times it's because of the way it was hooked up. And maybe the contractor cannot cover that expense. Well, now you've got it under your policy. So it gives you that extra coverage during the testing process. Now, outside the testing process, it's automatically included in the coverage form. So this is only when it's actually doing the startup of the unit.
And can you remind me, is this for residential and commercial?
Oh yes, you have those you've got HVAC heaters that are automatically part of every building that is built in our society. And they are going to have to do some kind of a startup. Mm-hmm. And if they didn't hook it up right, you got to get some problems.
Yeah. And speaking of problems, fifth on our list, we have expediting expense. That really comes in handy when a problem has happened. Time is money. So can you tell me a little bit about this coverage?
Expediting expense is pretty much what the word says. It allows them to spend extra money, the payroll overtime, extra lighting to work at night, to get their project back up to where they can get back to the state they were before the loss. Most contractors have some kind of incentive to meet the contract date, and they want to get this project back on track as soon as possible.
Absolutely. Okay. And that brings us to the last item on our list, rain, snow, ice, or sleet, which is also known as water intrusion. So this is a coverage extension, right? How does that work? Who's it for?
It is. We do it on our commercial policies. So the rain, snow, ice, sleet is when most carriers have a water exclusion in their policies. And what the water exclusion normally states is there's got to be physical damage to a building where the rain, the snow, ice impacted the actual building and caused the damage. If you have a building, which we see all the time, where they've got the roof off and all of a sudden this rainstorm came and they didn't have anything protecting it, and that rain comes in, there was no damage to the structure. The rain just entered the house or the building, and that causes water damage. Well, we only offer it on the commercial right now. We have not found where it's viable to do it on the residential because we have more and more occurrences where the painters, left all the windows open and left for the night so where they can get the fumes out. Well, rain came in, caused all the damage. We have a lot where tarps in most states are not considered a roof covering for protection. Therefore, those tarps don't do us any good, and the contractors don't seem to plan out their roofs at very good times from our past experience. So for right now, we're not offering it on residential, but we do offer it automatically on our large commercial, and then it's up to the agent to decline the coverage. And then if you want it on our online small commercial, then you will ask and request that coverage, which prompts you.
Well, that's definitely a lot to think about. And wouldn't you say coverages is one of those rare areas in life where oversharing is actually a good thing?
I agree with that. The best thing to do is agents offer all the coverages that we offer on Zurich programs. Let your insured decline the coverage. And then that way you've protected yourself. There is a lot of coverages that if they would look, they'd be amazed of what we could cover.
And if you want to learn more about some of the coverages we've discussed and a bunch of the other ones that we have to offer, grab the free guide from the link on your screen or check out the link at the end of this video. And as always, you can check out our website for our resources center. A lot of information there about the policies and coverages. Rachele, thank you again for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, and I will see you again next time.